my name is Art Edwards. I've been working here in El Dorado County for the homeless for about 10 years, trying to design and establish some type of a common area where homeless people can live that's legal, safe, clean, so forth.
And why do you think that's necessary?
Well, we have a really large population of homeless here in our community, both because of the recent recession, and it's just a nice place to be. People do come here, but we do have a big homeless population. We don't know how many, probably a couple hundred, I think. So we got to do something with them, because what they do is camp out in the woods, which is very dangerous. The fire chief and police chief are very nervous every day about that. So we have been pulling together to try to find a place we could put them that would be legal. I want to emphasize the word legal there, because over the years the cities and counties in California have used zoning laws to prevent homeless shelters of any kind from going in. So the first thing you have to do, well, let me back up, the really first thing you have to do is get community support and community togetherness, buy-in, good word, yes, that you want to do something, not just conversation, but actual being prepared to buy in with action and commitment. Yeah. We finally got that about 6 months ago, after years and years of trying, with the city of Placerville. The vice mayor, Wendy Matson, has done a marvelous job in supporting us and allowing us to do these things that were never permitted before by zoning laws, things like that. So now the city is 100% behind us, as is the police chief and the fire chief. So the gentleman who owned this property came up about 4 months ago to the city and said, I will be happy to lease about an acre and a half of this beautiful property to you for a homeless encampment, actually, what this is. So
and this is in the city, this property?
This is in the city limits, exactly.
Okay.
So they asked me to form a corporation, a non-profit corporation, which I did. And so we're the entity that has leased this property from the owner. The city is not politically involved. They support us.
There isn't a direct liability.
There's not a direct liability, exactly. So we have built this out of nothing but brush and timber. We were fortunate to have undoubtedly the best bulldozer operator in the county come in and donate 2 weeks. He and his brother, the Reed brothers, donated their time and their bulldozing skill and just leveled these and drove out the blackberry bushes. It was a terrible place when we started. Leveled out the ground for us, and what we have here is an encampment of tents. Right here at the beginning is what you're looking at now is the common area. This will be a concrete pad with a roof over it where people can gather. It'll have a burn fire pit in the center so they can keep warm in the evening. We're putting in electricity right now so they can even have television if they want it. We can't afford any of that right now. We can't even afford a concrete slab, but hopefully within a year we will be able to.
And where's your money coming from?
Well, it's all donations from generous people and other nonprofits that are supporting us. No city or county money at this point, but we've been able to raise a few $1,000s from also religious organizations. Churches have been giving us money, so we're out there every day trying to get more, and the more money we get, the quicker we can make this into a really nice place to live. So I'll take you for a walk up the hill here and show you what we have done so far with the help we have.
Hi.
Yeah, you can. It's a little bit bigger than the one I think that you.
Yeah, it's you could almost stand up in this one.
Yeah.
It's basically the same idea.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I don't know who gave us to us. They just brought it in and set it down.
And you use it for storage.
At the moment, we're using it for storage. Yeah. So to get this thing ready to go, before the city would allow us to move into this area, we had to make it fireproof. And you'll notice that the hillsides have been cleared, and on both sides of the road.
Mm-hmm.
This was an old fire road, probably many years old, and clearing off the brush and then clearing the brush beside it to make it fireproof. Then what we've done is set up the tents. People have come off the mountain with their tents, and some have no tent. We've given, passed out tents as they come in. And this is the, and you'll notice we put down kind of a dust control type of chips. We have 2 tents that are for visitors or people who are brand new in it that don't have tents of their own.
And how many are here now?
Well, we have right now almost 30 tents and about 35 people at the moment, more coming in every day. At this moment, the city has asked that we only take in people who have been residents of Placerville. So we have a lot more room than 30, 35, but we're probably half full. But we're only doing it for city residents right now.
So not everyone's taken you up on this. They just assume a lot of people are still out.
Well, I don't think so, because it's illegal to camp in these woods.
Uh-huh.
And the police chief and his men have been out trying to get them to come down here. And so many of them have. We don't know how many are still up there. I'm sure there are some, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But
they may not even know about it.
They may not.
And you have a drug-free policy.
Well, we do, absolutely. If you discover drug usage on the place, that person is out. Same is true with open alcohol containers.
Is that showing intoxication or just having it with you, or?
No. Well, alcohol is legal, so you can't just say if you have a bottle with you, you're going to be out. But they cannot show intoxication is a good word, or have an open container with them walking around. That's what we don't permit. So the owner of the property has asked us to build a fence so that the occupants don't have direct, immediate access up to his home. So we put in the fence.
He accesses another place to this house.
Yes. His house is right up above us.
I really like the idea that you did it on contour like this. I mean, because I was thinking of in terms of like a camp, like it'd be wide, but
No.
but this just works out really well.
It does, and notice the shade. It's not hot today, but a couple of weeks ago, it was steaming hot in town, and it was just lovely, cool all along this road. So we've, with the winter coming, we have storm drain down the side. Each tent is going to have to cut little gullies in next to it to keep the water from running inside the tent, but each person knows how to do that. Tents, as you know, are not particularly waterproof, so you'll notice almost all tents have some kind of a canvas or plastic covering over the tent. I'm going to take a picture of the Army flag, our veterans. We have a number of veterans here.
Number of veterans.
Yeah, that's the scary part, is the number of young men and women coming back who have no job and nowhere to live. So we do have a good supply of veterans.
How you guys doing?
Hi. How's it going?
How's it going?
He's giving me a tour.
All right on.
Now, when I get enough money, we're going to put a power pole right at this point with lights shining in both directions to illuminate everything until 10 o'clock at night, and then the lights go off. Notice the beautiful second tier down below that our bulldozer operator cut for us out of the side of the mountain, giving us almost twice as much
Capacity.
Capacity, right? Exactly.
And yeah,
but it's just a cool, calm place that allows the people to be cool and calm themselves. And the thing we were most concerned about, of course, was interaction of the people living together, because these folks have experienced life pretty much on their own, living out in the country by themselves. Now they're together, and so we were concerned that what could they do to make it together, and the answer has been a big yes.
Even at this scale, I had mentioned to you about smaller groups, and what do you think about that?
I don't think it's necessary, but that also would depend on the physical configuration of your property. Our property is not, set up for that as well. So in this property, it would be kind of tough to do that, but not impossible. And it's something we would consider if thought it was a good idea.
Do you have council fires, or how do people govern?
We have an organization called Citizens in Transition, CIT, made up of the homeless people themselves. They set up the rules that everyone has to follow living here. Mm-hmm. They have meetings once a week. In fact, we have one tomorrow night.
Are they elected?
Yeah, well, they're elected by their people. Yeah.
So how do they, in mass, they'll elect this group? They won't represent a certain part of the camp, or? Well,
no. It's it's like any other democracy. Those things can happen, but they've been elected by the rest of the group.
Like by ballot.
By ballot, yeah.
Okay, so they come forward and say, "I want to represent you guys," right. And they make their case talking to people, and they say, "We like you. Yeah, we want you to do that."
Typical Democratic Republican type thing.
Ideally.
Ideally, yeah. And it's working beautifully here. Everyone, the city and say the police force, everybody. See, the police come in about once every other day, and they just walk through and they shake hands with everybody and talk to everybody. And they have said how impressed they are with how well organized and together the homeless people are here, like us, more so than they ever expected. They're all very happy.
Are there a lot of stories that you hear about how what it was like, and how this has been a change?
I haven't heard a lot of stories. I've heard some, but yes, people here are just almost every day that I come here, they jump up and shake my hand and thank me for what we've all been able to do here. It's just been a quantum leap in experience for them, from the individual camping in the woods with no bathroom, no water, no nothing, into an organized campground now where they have and will have all the facilities.
And it's legal.
And it's legal, exactly. The city is supporting us completely on this. That's the main difference from what they've experienced before and from what we've experienced in trying to do this before.
Are you noticing that their lives are changing, or are there people that maybe have been able to move on to another level, a transition out of this?
Well, there are several people here that have picked up jobs. I was just talking to one gentleman down there who's applying for 2 jobs here in town. He thinks he's going to get one or maybe both. This is a settling environment. I guess that's the only way to put it, which all the studies that's ever been done in this country on homeless have shown the first primary thing you have to have is a steady, secure place to live. Mm-hmm. After you have that, then the getting a job, getting clean, getting off drugs will come, but it won't come if you don't have a place to live.
Do you have a way to deal with, because I know it's a big leap for someone. A lot of people, because they're out self-medicating themselves with drugs, and now they're coming to this drug-free environment. How do you deal with that, or is there any transitioning, or what?
No, they just have to accept the fact that to be here, they have to do that. And some won't. Some have said, no, I've got to be on drugs. I can't not have my drugs, and they leave.
You don't have to throw them out. They just, the community itself ejects them.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Hangtown Haven Incorporated, which is our nonprofit, we don't throw anybody out or bring anybody in. That's done by the people who live here.
Right.
And they decide who stays and who goes. Our job is to provide the environment and the place to stay, and we'll let them...
The opportunity.
The opportunity, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is the upper end of things, and you can see the end of the property here. And you may notice right next to it is another road taking up the side of the mountain, which is identical. Well, it's a continuation of this road, so we could double what we're doing now if we went up that hill. So if we get a big influx of people, we can just continue on up the mountainside with exactly what we're doing here.
As far as sanitation goes, would you be keeping it all down below, or would you?
We have to, because it has to be pumped, and trucks can't.
So they'll have to head down to.
Well, we would build stairs, things for them to come straight down. So, yeah.
And now they're cooking on their own.
Not, they can, and some of them like to, but most of we have a lunch. People provide lunch every day. Bring in sandwiches, lasagna, chili. At dinner time, they walk up to the upper room, so they don't have to cook here. Some like to make their own meat on the barbecue, and so we have several barbecue pits down there, and they will use them.
So that's not at this point organized so much.
No.
But now you're saying the upper room is the community resource center?
No, it's next to it. It's the next building up from it. They're side by side.
And that's an integral part of this. Is the resource center has showers?
Yes, resource. Yeah, CRC, community resource, has showers, and they can go up. Take, I don't know, maybe one every 3 or 4 days.
And then what's this upper room?
Well, that's, I guess you'd call it a community kitchen. It's where some nonprofits, and I think the Catholic Church started it, as I understand, where they have food every day. They get food from the community, and they will fix a nice dinner for anybody, not just homeless. Anybody who wants to eat there can come and have dinner every day.
And that's through the Catholic Church.
It started that way.
And that was existing before this?
Oh, yes. Yes. It's been around for maybe 10 years, maybe more, actually.
I saw a movie on that called A Table Set for Four, and that was in Philadelphia.
Oh, is that right?
And it was about waiting on people and giving them the food and having that sense of dignity.
I don't know how. I've never been to rooms at dinner time, so I don't know how it operates. But that's extremely popular in this community. Everybody loves it.
That's very innovative. I mean, do you know of other similar efforts that you've been able to stand on the shoulders of, or did you develop a lot of this?
What I have heard from people is that this is the first one in the West Coast. In fact, I had a call from Los Angeles this morning. The CBS network in Los Angeles wants to do a story on this. It may be coming up. We've had calls from Redding, California, from San Antonio, Texas, wanting to know what we're doing here, what's going on. They hear stories. The last thing the guy from LA said is, how come you guys can do it and Sacramento can't? I said, I don't know. You have to come up and see it.
Now, it was impossible legally to do it on the county land, or?
Yes, right. See, yeah, the zoning issues, and I've been deep into that for many years, is very, very important in whatever you're trying to do. There's a Senate Bill 2 that if you're dealing with homeless encampments, you need to be aware of. Senate Bill 2 will give you advantages that you didn't know you had, but nevertheless, it still has to go through the county, it still has to go, or the city, and they can still fight you on it. So it's not easy, but if they decide they want to help you, working together with that law, you can make something work. So
the county could have done it on their land, but they wouldn't step up to the plate.
Well, that's very well said. Yes, I agree. That's a good way to put it.
Would that have been ideal?
Well, in some senses it would, because they have a couple of pieces of property right now on which you could build a beautiful building, and that's, of course, the ultimate of what you want to do with the homeless is to have a place, a physical place building type for them to go. Mm-hmm. And the county does have a couple of good properties that would be marvelous for that. It's pretty hard. I've been at them for years on it with no luck.
And now the city, did the city have property they could have made available, or you just had, that's where private?
No, the city doesn't have as much property as the county does, and I don't. No, the city's participation is more in allowing us to go somewhere. There are several private properties in the city limits whose zoning is kind of questionable, but if the city didn't get too sticky about it, we could make a nice homeless shelter there. And we're negotiating back and forth on that.
Now that's actually how I heard about this, the 1,000 feet sex offender separation and neighbors concerned, and it was that I saw it on the news and I went, oh my God, you guys are doing something. But is that really an issue or just a news story?
Oh, it's just a news story. You know, people have their ideas about who homeless people are, and you can see as you walk through there's nothing like you see on the radio or television. I just love to blow it out of proportion. You really need to sit and talk with a homeless person for a while to understand the life they have lived and been through and what their dreams are and hopes are. And that helps you to concentrate on doing the right thing, I think.
And you've been working on this for 10 years.
Yeah, I used to be president of United Outreach, which is an organization here in the county that does help women and children. But that's all. They didn't expand into helping, the grizzly old guys with beards, which is kind of what I wanted to do. And so I left them and been working with the city on this. And as I said, started my own corporation that is at the city's request, actually, Hangtown Haven Incorporated, which is now running this show right here. I'm a retired engineer, so I do all the design. I did all the design on what's going on and so forth. So that's fun part of it for me.
Because today was the day utilities came.
You're right. And they're so excited. They're standing there waiting to plug in their telephones,
Their chargers.
Chargers, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's
and we're having water. They have a well on the site that feeds the home up on top of the hill. But wells have to be well water has to be filtered when you are feeding 30 people from them. So at the moment we have sent in samples to the federal government to tell us how our water is. Mm-hmm. And when they come back with a report, we'll build the proper filtering system, and then the guys and gals here will have water. And they're looking forward to that.
And so you may have showers here at some point?
No. It's just a well. It doesn't have that much capacity. No, this will just give them drinking water and hand washing water.
And there's this issue of disposing of the wash water.
Exactly. But where we're going to do it is sort of like what you find in a campground where they have a pipe coming out of the ground and a sign that says "Do not wash your pots and pans here," but it's trimmed in rock, and the water dissipates down into the ground as you turn on and turn off. So if they can do it in a campground, we can do it here.
Wow.
But you see, when you get the city on your side, you don't have to worry about things like that. We can work them out with the zoning people and the engineering people. Engineering people were very helpful with me here on how to do this ground so that it doesn't slough off and fire. And when the city's on your side, you can do those things. But it's been years they haven't been.
And so when you've had this particular idea for 10 years that you've been...
Not this specific idea, no, but we've tried different things. I've designed several buildings for homeless that have been, rejected. We tried working with getting grants through the county. That didn't work. I've just tried many things, knowing in the back of my mind that, gee, if we could just find a place for a tent city, and which of course is a bad word. They don't want to hear something like tent city. And just in general, camping or setting a tent up out in the wilderness is against the law. It's got to be on a campground. But you see, we have a special use permit for this property that includes being able to put tents. Again, because the city supported us. If the city had been against us, we wouldn't be here. The zoning would have thrown us out.
I had a question. So the owner of this property knew about your efforts, and then he came forward with his property as a possibility.
Possibility, exactly. And he went to the city manager. And the city manager, Mr. Morris, is also very dedicated to helping the homeless. Then he contacted me through Wendy Matson, the vice mayor, and then we all got together and sat down and said, what could we do with this property to help the homeless? And that's when I said we could make a tent city, which everybody's been, not everybody, people have been thinking about for years, but we can't do legally. And he said fine, and the city said fine, and the city manager said fine, and the engineer said fine, and so that's all it takes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, exactly. Well put, yeah.
So now, do you find that you have people that have heard about it in other counties who are coming here?
Yeah, oh, exactly. Yeah, as I said, we got people who drove down from Reading, who heard about it. I personally
but
didn't.
Homeless people.
No, not homeless people. No, city people.
Just the idea that someone's doing something that's working is getting interest.
Spreading, yeah, it is. And I didn't realize that. I'm surprised when you came up. You know, in fact, I heard a couple of days ago that somebody in some news organization said there are 3 places in the West Coast that are dealing with homeless: Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, and Placerville, California. I almost fell over and I said, we're not known for not doing much of anything around here.
That's the Dignity Village. Is that the one in Oregon?
I don't know. Yeah, could be. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Huh.
So it's kind of fun to have people come and talk to you and say, wow.
Yeah.
And part of our intent with the city's support is to help other people.
Right.
To do their thing. We may not be exactly the same as this, but what rivers do you have to cross, and how do you get there from here? And that's we're really willing and anxious to help anybody who wants.
Yeah. I imagine that would be so. Like I told you, I couldn't get through on the phone to anyone, so I just thought they couldn't tell me to get lost.
No, they work with us a great deal, but they're not directly responsible for this.
Yeah.
They've been very supportive, very supportive.
I wonder if it would help if we talked to some examples.
Let's do it. Absolutely. There's a lady right here.
You've been dodging the camera for too long.
He would like to talk to somebody who lives here about their impressions of what you've.
I'm from Nevada City. I heard about it on the news, and I'm trying to get something like this started up there.
What do you want me to?
What was it like for you? What is it like for you? What do you see this as in the future?
I would start off by saying that I am grateful that this is here and all the people that's volunteered. And it's working.
So how were you living before?
I was actually on the other side.
Uh-huh.
And then I went away for a moment and came back, and this is where I ended up.
And so how long have you been homeless, and how did that happen?
I've been homeless total since January.
Uh-huh.
I have my kids, and I had to separate my family because they can't stay here.
Right.
And so they're with family.
And are you finding that one of the big questions I have, or theories that I'm hoping to prove, is that this is giving you a way up.
A way up.
Out of homelessness. That from here, you can see the next step, how you could be self-sufficient again.
Yeah. Well, they've upped the CRC, and that can help you look for work and get on your feet.
And would that have been more difficult living up on the hill, like you said?
Yeah, it was a lot difficult up there. Yeah, I like it way better down here. Even though it's rough, it's rough, but it works.
Uh-huh. So you feel better?
Yes. Yeah.
Were you almost depressed up there, or at all, or it just totally like feeling hopeless?
No, not really hopeless, just angry. Just angry because I'm in the situation that I'm in, and that was the only place that we could go. And
so this was
this is a step up.
a ray of light.
Yes, exactly. I just gotta keep the faith.
Yeah. And I didn't put her up to this. She's it's the one you caught.
Yeah.
They did a wonderful job here. I'm amazed. It's Placerville. It's not like Sacramento, like a big old gigantic city. Everyone's family. Everyone looks out for everybody.
In the camp or just in the community itself?
Well, in the community itself too, but especially here. Like, it's amazing how people just come together and make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm camera shy.
Yeah. No, that's just perfect. That's what I wanted. Just something candid.
All right. Thank you.
So there's, what percentage of the people here are female? I see another woman down below here.
Yeah, I would say about 6 or 8 out of the 35.
Like 20%.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty constant number, I think. Yeah.
And if there's probably a big need for families with children.
That's true, and that's what we would do next if we could get a building site. Exactly. How you doing?
Hey, do you, sir? I'm just trying to find out a little bit about this, so I'm just kind of randomly grabbing people. I'm from Nevada City, and would you mind telling me a little bit about what this is?
I'm here helping a friend. I don't stay here, but from what I've seen of it, it's great. It's a great little place, well kept. You're the founder.
Mm-hmm.
It's great action he's taken.
Thank you.
Helping people, I think it's excellent.
Yeah.
Other homeless camps I've seen ain't been near like this. So
Is that right?
yeah, which I haven't seen a lot, but
Yeah, yeah.
anyways, I think this guy's doing the public a great service.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a gentleman that can been around a while.
Yeah. Hi.
Nice to meet you. Mine candy camera or something?
Well, it's a.
I'm punked right now.
Yeah, no, I'm from Nevada City, and I'm just I heard about this on the news, and I'm trying to convince them find a way up there to organize something like this
They should
there.
start doing it everywhere. You know?
And what are the really good points about this place?
Well, keeps people off the street, you know, to give them a place to live. They don't have to pay rent. It's a designated area. They don't have to worry about cops coming and evicting them from some other property they're not supposed to be at. You know, and we're close to the community center, and the church brings lunch every day. So this is the best place to be if you don't have anywhere to go.
Uh-huh.
You know, so.
And what do you see for yourself?
Me? This
Yeah.
is just temporary right now.
And where do you think you'll head?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to go get into school right now because I want to do graphic arts and stuff.
So you're trying to move out of this homelessness and poverty.
Well, I will eventually. I mean, it's comfortable here. You know, it's cool. I mean, because I used to live across the street, and I'd wake up every morning to the police department handing out notices and stuff. So that sucks. But here, I mean, you don't got to pay rent. You got people to help you get out of this little spot. You know.
I mean, does your future seem brighter for you now? I mean, were you impeded before, and now you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you wake up every day, you look where you're at, and you just motivation to better yourself. You know, so.
It's like you were in a
people
funk.
out there, they have cars, they have jobs, they're productive citizens. You know? And some people would rather live out here than do that. Not me personally. I want to make it in life. I've done it before. I can do it again. You know,
So you just had a turn of bad luck.
Oh yeah. Yep. I wrecked my car, got a DUI, went to prison, lost my house, my car, and everything. So I started at the bottom of the ladder and worked myself up now. And it's not hard. You just gotta want to do it.
Are you a vet?
Huh?
Are you a vet?
No. I wish.
Yeah, might be a little easier.
Yeah. It's not bad here. I mean, I like to walk around, try to help people, and if there's any situations, I try to diffuse them and everything, you know, make sure everybody gets along. It's like a team effort here, you know? So, look out for everybody.
I'd like you to meet the president of the homeless group here. He can answer all kinds of questions for you. Larry?
You got any questions?
You're the elected Democratic representative of this camp.
Yes, there's a team. We're all equals. There's no titles. We're a team.
So you're out listening to what everybody wants and trying to put it into action.
That's what we're trying to do. We have good, we have bad, but it's a democracy. So if we got a council we vote on. We have meetings once a week. We have issues, we take them up, we vote on them. We bring them back to the community. Wednesday nights we have community meetings. We set forth whatever we decide in the meetings. And we have any concerns or questions from the community here, they just bring them up and we discuss them.
And do you get outside assistance with that, or do you pretty much guys within house manage it?
We pretty much in-house. There's some couple silent votes if we get stuck in stuff, from outside. But pretty much do it all ourselves.
And how'd you get here?
Jail and taking some wrong paths in my life.
Uh-huh. So then you were homeless.
Yeah, I became homeless. Yeah.
And so did you have a path out of that?
I'm working on that right now.
I mean, before this camp.
Well, before this, I had owned my own company. I was doing good, and I got arrested and lost everything.
And then when you were homeless, did you have a path out of being homeless, or was it was tough?
It was tough. We were living across the street in the other hill over there, and then this came up, and everybody jumped on it, and all hands on work. So.
Mm-hmm. So what do you see for yourself now?
Right now, it's a good, clean, safe living environment. It's a nice little community, but I don't plan on being here much longer. So.
I mean, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Where
I'm going to be getting my driver's license, my truck driver's license back, and I'm going to be getting a job driving truck, getting back on the road.
Getting on your feet.
Yeah.
So do you think you'll be coming back here to help?
Oh, I'm sure if I pass through, I'll stop by. There's people like my family.
Uh-huh.
It's a tight-knit community. It's like living in a big house with a bunch of brothers and sisters. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows attitudes, and it gets tough sometimes. Other than that, it's home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. You're learning a lot here.
Learning a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Learning a lot. And I imagine when winter gets here, we're going to learn a lot more.
Well,
So, yeah.
Thanks.
No problem. Hope you enjoy your visit.
Yeah, I have been.
Thank you.
It's been really worthwhile.
Coffee right now. If you guys want a cup of coffee.
Is that electrician still there?
Yeah, he's still down there.
Because I got to pay him for it. He's been doing wonderful. He's contributed his whole day to building putting in lights and stuff, but I need to pay him for the material he got, so I don't want him to leave just yet. See, we got the motion sensor lights, the ones that are on right now. He's wiring up, finally, is going to react to anybody coming in the parking lot at night, or anybody walking to the bathrooms. They will come on automatically. Then the lights on. Oh no, that's the lights that are on now are the ones that are facing down into the common area, so people can sit and read in the evening. Everything turns off at 10 o'clock. We shut everything down at 10.
And what's your winter plan?
Well, that's a good question. We've been working on that. We don't have enough money to really well winterize this place. We have enough, I think, that we can build or put in the what do they call them? Pop-up tents. They're tents that have no sides, just the top on them, and set them up around over the tables so that people can sit even in the rain and be, warm and dry. And I'm going to put a fire pit. I've already bought a backyard fire pit that's going to go right in the center, so there'll be warmth and protection from the rain. And that's about all we can offer until I get some more money. When I can bring in enough money, as I said earlier, I'm going to concrete this and put an overhead structure on it so it'll be really winterized in.
Yeah, maybe an army tent.
Something.
Yeah.
Whatever, but that's going to cost money. And as I say, we're not getting any money from the city or county. We're out there pounding the pavement trying to raise donations, and as we do, we can then add to what we've got here.
Have you, has there been any talk of possibly getting contributions out of the folks here towards something like that?
We haven't gone that direction yet. No, it's not impossible, but we haven't. No, we're trying. There are nonprofit organizations here in the city and county who donate to other
Right.
nonprofits, and that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, that's easiest path.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, I think I got a pretty good description out of you.
Okay. Well, if you want to come back or bring anybody else with you, I'd be happy to show.
Oh, maybe I can get your cell number or something.
I will.
Okay.
Happily give it to you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check this.